welcome back to AutoReview. My name is Patrick and today I'm presenting you the not new but 2014 model Ford Focus ST. Actually this is the ST2 edition, which is the only one available in the UAE. So there is the ST1, ST2 and ST3. ST3 is fully loaded with a sunroof and navigation and reverse camera, which doesn't come here. So this one is the ST2 version. It's a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine producing 250 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 360 Newton meters of torque at between 2,000 and 4,500 RPM. So it's a lot of fun to drive this car. And one very important fact, if you're in the UAE and you have a license in the UAE and you would like to buy this car, it is a 6-speed manual. So this car is not available as automatic anywhere in the world. Thanks God. This is a pure driver's car. You need to know how to drive a car. You need to know how to drive a manual car with 3 pedals and a stick shift. Yeah. So let me show you the car from outside, inside, second row boot, and then most important about this car is actually to drive it. So without further ado, let's hop inside. So what can I tell you about the Focus ST? First of all, the best thing in the interior is the seats, or are the seats. Recaro seats, bucket seats, as you can see, super big formed, gives you very good support from the ass as well as from the back. They feel very nice. Half leather, so basically outside is leather, inside is, well, normal, I don't know, whatever material they use. Then we have the leather wrapped steering wheel, leather wrapped shift knob with a 6-speed manual. And that thing is a joy to shift, I'm telling you. It's really great to shift. Reverse is up and back, and the handbrake on the left side as well. So what do we have? We have a multifunctional steering wheel with the cruise control and speed limiter on the left side. The controls for the radio on the right and for the computer in the middle, on the left. Then we have quite a lot of buttons in the middle, which is for the radio and all the units. Ford changed that already in the 2015 model. The 2014, which this one is, had still a lot of buttons. Sony sound system, really good sound system, I have to tell. But in my opinion, actually, it's not so difficult to get used to it. And the thing is with the system is, if you have something touchscreen, which a lot of people do, or a lot of manufacturers do, like Opel, for example, or Cadillac, they have these touch buttons. And in my opinion, physical buttons are just better because you have the response and you know you push it and it works, you know. One thing that I don't like is the screen is very small and it just gives you basic information. There's no reverse camera in this model. It has parking sensors, but only in the reverse, not in the front. So it's more really for driving that way than that way. What is really good, I was able to find a really good driving position because of the seats. You can adjust them in height, as well as lumbar support. And the steering wheel you can adjust in all directions, so there is no problem in finding a space for you here. And you can see I'm 184 tall. I put the seat to the bottom and I still have a lot of space, so even big dudes will find space. The only constraint or the only problem you might have is if you're a really big person, you might not be comfortable in the seats. But for me and someone like my size, I fit perfectly in the seats. Then controls for the windows and the mirrors, then the light on the bottom. We have fog lights, front lights. This car has no xenon light, and this is something that I don't like. This car should have xenon lights because it has the overtaking prestige, especially in this tangerine scream color, and it has the power to overtake a lot of cars. What else do we have? Very clear instrument cluster, RPM on the left, speedo on the right with the fuel gauge and the engine temperature. And in the middle we have another 3 instruments, which is for oil temperature, oil pressure and turbo gauge boost, which you will see when we drive. Air conditioning unit, then, well, heated rear screen we don't need, and ESC off, which is a dangerous button to press because then your tires will shred into smoke and will disappear very fast. 12-volt power socket. Then we have an ashtray or 2 cup holders. Either way, I'm not smoking. In the sides we have sufficient space to put small bottles on that side, even 1.5 liter bottles. Then here we have a little tray with a USB and some space below that, as well, leather wrapped. Glass holder. The sunshades, both illuminated with mirrors, very good. Very nice dark. Everything is dark in this car, which is good, so nothing really reflects in the window, which is great. The mirror is darkening itself in the night. And what else do we have? The test, no, it does not extend, so this is something I don't like. Bluetooth, it has, though the sound quality of the phone, I have an iPhone 5, I sometimes had problems in understanding the other people. And one interesting fact is this one has a sports steering, which means 1.3 turns to either direction, and you have a fully turned steering wheel. However, it is limiting the turning circle. It's very wide turning circle because of that. But for driving, it's just amazing. So let's finish here. Let me hop in the second row, the boot, and then we drive. Okay, so second row, as you can see, I'm still 184 tall, and I still have plenty of headroom. The good thing is the headrest goes nearly to the top, which is great. Other than that, there's not much that we have. We have a speaker on the left. We have some space indoors. Now the speaker on the top, the, how we call this, window, and it does not go fully down. So always a little gap. I don't like that. We have some space to put magazines in the pocket and the rear seats. No armrest, however 3-point seat belts on all seats. Isofix on the left and the right, and a 12-volt power socket in the middle, plus a reading light for both sides, and that's it. So let's see the boot. Okay, the Ford Focus ST from the back. What do we see? This huge wing, which in my opinion actually is not that big. It looks really good and makes the car look really sporty. I like that. One thing about Ford Focus is it doesn't have a fuel cap. It's locked. It only opens when you use the nozzle from the pump station, and which is good. You don't lose these things anymore. Then we have, in addition to the wing, we have the ST badge on the left side, which I forgot to tow in the front. We have the ST badge in the front as well, and very nice, only red and white. I hate orange in real lights. Then we have the parking sensors, and in the middle we have the huge exhaust, which at the same time tells you you are not able to use this car for towing anything because of this exhaust. But who the hell wants to tow something with a car like this? Okay, so let's open it up. We have two handles to close the boot. Spare wheel, full size, below here. Loading height is a little bit higher, I have to say. However, it is protected from plastic here. A little bit hook on the left and the right. A space on the right as well. And you can fold it to 1/3 and 2/3 the back seats to get some more space. And that is pretty much it. So let's finally hit the road. Okay, first of all, I have to apologize because regardless of how much I prepare and how many times I've done this already, sometimes I just forgot something, and I have forgotten the second camera. So we'll have only this view today from inside, but I think the sound will make it up for you guys. So let's go on the road with this car. And the first thing you recognize, or the first thing you will see or hear, is the noise. Because this car has a sound alternator or sound whatever they call it at Ford. What it does is there's a little pipe that goes from the engine bay just behind the dashboard here, and it has a valve, and when you accelerate, basically when you use the turbo, which you can see in the turbo gauge here, and which you can hear when you drive, obviously, it opens up and it lets the noise from the engine inside. It sounds really cool when you drive it. I really enjoy it, or I really enjoyed it, but there is no sound whatsoever outside, and that's the big drawback. You have a car that is fast. I mean, 250 horsepower is fast. 0 to 100 in 6.5 seconds. Top speed 248 kilometers an hour, so nearly 250. So you can play around with quite a lot of cars already. But it sounds amazing inside, but outside there's nothing, and this is the really I'm a little bit disappointed about that. Then steering is very direct. I really like it. So let's overtake this stupid van here. And the clutch clutch is super nice, and the gear changes are just joy, you know, because of... Stop making noise. I have to stop, sorry guys. Stupid camera makes noise. We don't want that. I'll just stop here somewhere and fix that. Okay, we're back. Sorry, it was not a camera actually, it was the, how you call this, the little strap. And here you see the problem as well. Because of the sports steering, the turning circle is very wide. So it's great for driving and shitty for parking. But that's all fine when you step on the accelerator. 100. Quick, and I wasn't really accelerating full. So, now, it drives really cool. It's really a lot of fun. In my opinion, it looks a little bit too high. I mean, it has 18-inch alloys. Has a sports suspension, obviously, compared to the normal Focus models. 235 18-inch tires. They're really grippy, as long as they don't push this ESC off button, because then the grip turns into smoke and the tires turn into pieces, because that car has 360 Newton meters of torque, all being released on the front wheels. And actually the car can't cope with it if the electronics are not helping. And I've seen cars that Focus ST that were tuned to up to 400 horsepower, and I don't know how you handle 400 horsepower on the front axle only. At least not from the standstill. Okay, so dashboard very clear. Fuel consumption I had, and I drove this car for over a week now. 10.7 to 11 liters approximately, which isn't bad for a car that actually produces that much power from a four-cylinder turbo engine. Air condition is damn cold, really, it's damn cold. And this is actually built in Germany, but it's a GCC spec, so I guess it's set up for this, what do you call this, for this climate. Then, air condition, as I said, very good. Dual zone, left and right. We have space in the bins. We have USB charger, but only one, unfortunately. And it's hidden inside. It would be nice if they have something here as well. And we will turn left to make a U-turn. And the seats are just amazing. I mean, you see it here. You see how much grip the seats will give you. And what I like as well is the color setup of this car is tangerine scream outside, which is super beautiful in my opinion, and you have this black and gray stuff, so black leather and gray insides, and this part, and this part you can get in different colors, depends on what model you choose, or which color, outside color you choose. You can get it, for example, in yellow, red and blue, or gray, and they all look disgusting. This is the only option that I would recommend you, because for example the yellow, it doesn't match the yellow, the tangerine scream outside is like a very bright yellow, so it's completely disgusting, honestly. Now, steering wheel is nice and thick, with a little bit contour here, so the thumb doesn't how do you call that? Damn it, doesn't slip. Then we have ST badge on the bottom, 6-speed manual, as I say, reverse on the left, up and left. Then who cares about all this actually, to be honest? This car is just fun to drive. I mean, fuel consumption I told you, so you'll be able to get around 500 to 600 kilometers, depends on how you drive with it. And it's just so much fun to drive, honestly. Price in the UAE for this car is 90, or was for this 2014 model, 98,000. I think it's the same for the 2015 model. And the only changes pretty much that they've done to the 2015 model is the lights look a little bit slimmer. The fog lights are not round but square. The center console has a little bit of a different V shape and square buttons instead of round buttons, and it's supposed to be a little bit less, but I don't see what's the point really. I mean, a lot of people in other reviews complain about this is too many buttons. I mean, have you been in a Porsche Panamera? Have you seen the buttons there? I think there's like a million buttons there. So come on. But just this manual is so much fun. And this is the main selling point, I think. It has more power than the Golf GTI. The Golf GTI has 220 horsepower, They don't bring the performance pack in here, which has 230, so this one has 30 horsepower more, and it has a manual. And this is one of the only cars that you can get the manual. So you can get this one in manual, if you're a petrol head. You can get the Opel Astra OPC in manual, which has a horrible gearbox, especially the first and second gear. Just check my review of the Opel Astra OPC, and I mentioned that as well. The same thing with the Corsa OPC. The Astra has 280 horsepower, so it's more than this one, but it's just no fun to shift because of the first and second gear. It's really not nice. And then you have, I think, the Toyota GT86, which has only 200 horsepower and wheels like a bicycle. So this, in my opinion, is the best deal of all of them at the moment in the UAE if you want to drive a manual car with 200 plus horsepower. And in addition to that, Ford gives a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer warranty with a 60,000 kilometer service package. Even the brake pads are included, as long as you don't do excessive wear and tear, so you don't take it to the track. Other than that, I mean, what else can you say about this? I mean, there was a little bit of a squeaky noise in the seat. There you go, it's a little. And the steering, as I said, for parking, sports steering is not ideal because the turning cycle or turning, let me just show you what I mean. If I turn, it's only 1.3 turns until the end, so that limits the turning because of the wide wheels in the front. But it's super nice for driving as well. It has no reverse camera, it's only reverse parking sensors, and it has no xenon lights. And this is actually something that I cannot forgive, because I don't care about the camera, I don't care about the other things I mentioned, but this car has to have xenon lights. I mean, come on. I'm not asking for LED. LED would be cool, but xenon at least, you know. But okay, if you like this video, please share it, like it, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and there will be a few changes coming soon to the channel, so stay tuned and get a surprise, because it's gonna be super exciting. And it's gonna be really nice scenery, really nice video, really nice all surrounding. So it's not only gonna be cool cars, it's gonna be cool sceneries as well. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!